encourage the expansion of the dirty fossil fuel industry, and in their minds there's no stopping anytime soon. But we are here today to prove that it will stop. All of us here today, the young people across the country, we are all speaking in defense of our planet and for future generations to come. I would like to remind us of a short little orange fellow who nobody listened to until it was too late. He once said, "Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better." It's not. Well, we do care. And just as the young boy in that story who planted a singular seed to regrow a whole forest, the voices of other young people are growing too. And unlike that short little orange fellow in the story, we will be heard now.
We are still asking who in their right mind would sanction a natural gas pipeline that requires blasting 8 feet down into one of the oldest rock formations on this earth, or situate that 36-inch diameter pipeline running over 1,480 pounds per square inch of a flammable substance within feet of an active rock quarry that conducts daily blasting. We share the fury of people across this country who have been deliberately and consistently disenfranchised by FERC's protocols.
Of course, 14 miles is 14 miles too many, but that's not why I wanted to talk about the DTE pipeline. There's another reason. It's one that would connect the Texas Eastern Pipeline that is notorious to a natural gas power plant. It would be the only customer of the DTE pipeline, this power plant in a little town called Birdsboro. Now, FERC will surely approve the DTE pipeline, even though the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit recently tossed out FERC's approval of the Southeast Market Pipelines project for failing to consider climate impacts. The sad fact, though, is that cases like that one set a precedent, but not for FERC's next decision, but for the legal case about FERC's next decision. And we all know that by that time, the pipeline's built. Of course, my group is fighting along with the Delaware Riverkeeper Network against the DTE pipeline, not simply because it would cut a scar through our beautiful countryside and run underneath the Schuylkill River, but because it's emblematic of a problem that is pervasive in Pennsylvania right now. FERC isn't the only problem in Pennsylvania. Our Department of Environmental Protection regularly fails us by taking the side of the industry at every turn.
Because my family refused to sign for Atlantic Coast Pipeline to put a pipeline through our land, they summoned us to court just because we wouldn't sign. We don't want a pipeline on our farm in North Carolina.
Fascism.
Okay. So we in Halifax County are faced with the extreme exploitation by Atlantic Coast Pipeline to put a high-pressure pipeline through our community of mainly African Americans, senior citizens, and low income.
The Atlantic Sunrise Pipeline is not good for Lancaster, it's not good for Pennsylvania, and it's not good for the planet. Why are members of our community opposed to the ASP? Well, first and foremost, we think it is wrong that a group of board members of a large corporation based in Oklahoma have more rights to make money on our properties against our will than we have the right to say no to them. This is a legislative wrong, it is a humanitarian wrong, so we say no corporate rights over community rights. Eminent domain for private gain. There is no legal justification for an industry to claim eminent domain for our properties when the natural gas traveling through this line is slated for overseas sales and admittedly by the industry does not directly benefit Lancaster County nor Pennsylvania in any way. We say no eminent domain for private gain. Danger. Pipelines continue to have accidents across the nation, spilling and exploding, and FERC is willing to stand by and allow us to carry the burden of this threat next to our bedrooms where we and our children sleep so the industry can satiate their own greed. We say no deaths for corporate greed.
38 miles of mountaintops are set to be reduced along the ACP. Everyone along the walks thanked us for bringing attention to their plight. Some gave us water. Everyone talked about water. Will our wells be contaminated? Will our aquifers recharge area be affected? How will pipelines avoid the aquifers since their underground structure is unknown? Dominion isn't answering these questions. Dominion has no answers.
So that's why it's so important we're all here today. We have to tell FERC and Congress that enough is enough. Corporations may have all the money, but in the end, people power trumps corporate power.
The Court of Appeals decided about a month ago that a pipeline that had been approved by FERC needed to go back because FERC, of course, had not done the kind of analysis they should have done in terms of the climate impacts of the pipeline. And there are other legal cases in the courts and more coming, and with that court decision and the state of our movement, the state of our activism, the victories that are happening with state regulatory agencies, the more press coverage that's happening, and the spotlight that's being put on FERC, we're in a position to keep winning victories, so let's keep going.
Dr. King told them this. He said that this battle is not about me, but about the next generation. This battle we have right now, while it impacts us, it is about the next generation. This battle we're fighting right now is not about equality.